Yo, what's going on with y'all, man? And what man's for the females? Hey, in today's video, we will be talking about dreams again. Specifically, kind of how to have more dreams and be a bit more lucid inside those dreams. If that sounds good to you, I would like to ask that you like this video, subscribe if you're new, and if you see the option, I would like to also ask that you hype up this video. I will say one more thing real quick. A lot of y'all be in my comments, y'all be telling me how much you want me to grow. Y'all be wanting me to do more podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to support the channel even more, what you can do is if you want to see me on a certain podcast, simply just go to their videos and be like, hey, get Genie Dot on. Hey, get Genie Dot on. You feel me? I'll be open to doing different podcasts. You know what I'm saying? So since y'all want me to do that, make sure y'all let these different podcasters know that you want to see your boy on there. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what goes into a dream. So, number one, consciousness, right? Being conscious is one thing because if you don't have dreams, you're likely just not aware of the states that dreams happen in, right? Like, let's say that you're not a person that does any substances, you're just a regular guy and stuff like that. If you're not having dreams, that's just because you're not aware of the dream state, right? Some people who are like a bit more intellectually focused may also struggle to have dreams because when you use your intellect, you're not using the part of your brain that actually forms the images for dreams. You kind of just think a lot. You might be a person that just thinks all night. You just have unconscious thoughts just going crazy all night without any images to it, right? So you should also be aware that if you're overly intellect, it's not bad. It's not bad to be intellectual. You just need to be also able to shut down intellect and be able to open up to imagery. You know, because they work on different parts of your brain. The intellect is more like the left brain. The imagery is more like the right brain. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but consciousness, right? Becoming more conscious. You see, a lot of people are not very conscious inside their life. Now, some people are more conscious than others. But when I say being conscious, I mean being so conscious that you constantly are aware of your true nature and the true nature of reality and the true nature of other people. For example, certain emotional states that we get in can be prevented if we were just more aware of our divine nature, right? And here's what I mean. If you are aware that you are a divine being, right? If you are aware that other people are divine beings, even if they're acting out of divinity, and if you are aware that life is trying to show you certain things, then you start letting go of certain things like, let's say, anger. Like when certain BS happens, instead of kind of just being mad and kind of reacting like a victim, or let's say that somebody starts pissing you off, instead of kind of just letting them affect you like that, you kind of become a bit more aware. Like, hold up, I have complete control over how I want to feel. This person is still a divine being. They just aren't aware of it. And life is likely trying to show me something right now. So, with that being said, what is life trying to show me? What is the lesson behind my current experience right now? Now, of course, with certain things that happen, this could be way harder than other experiences. I'm completely aware of that. But over time, you start to kind of see the dreamlike nature of reality and how everything is kind of happening for a certain purpose, you know? And you start to be more aware of what life is trying to show you. And then because of that, you act accordingly. It When you have that kind of a consciousness inside of your life, you also begin to reflect that inside your dreams because a lot of times people will have dreams where they're kind of just being a victim to the circumstance of the dream instead of being aware of what's happening in the dream and what the dream is trying to show them, right? Like sometimes you have dreams that are trying to let you have Sometimes you have dreams that are trying to help you to let go of certain situations, right? Let's say that you have a dream where you are arguing with somebody from the past, right? Inside that dream, you might just fully buy into that argument. You fully just argue with the person. You might argue so much that you wake yourself up by just like you might be inside the dream yelling, talking yo ish, and then you doing all that literally wakes you up. At that point, you fell victim to the dream and the script of the dream. If you were a bit more aware, you might realize that, dang, this character that I'm about to dive into that wants to argue back, I don't have to do that. I can sit back and observe what's really happening and then become a bit more conscious. And when you do things like that, you might become aware that, hold up, I'm dreaming right now and this dream is trying to just show me this. Let me just collapse this dream and maybe hop out my body. Maybe I'll start lucid dreaming, or I just wake up and I just start my day. Yeah, it depends on the person what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing that goes into a dream is consciousness, right? Various different levels. Being more aware of your own divine nature, being aware of different states of consciousness. That's why I recommend meditation, because when you meditate, you can become more aware of different states of consciousness. Honestly, I feel like meditation is something that everybody should do. You know what I'm saying? And when I say meditation, I mean like the Eastern form, right? Because in the West, people call everything meditation. You know what I'm saying? In the East, meditation is a very specific practice. I have a whole playlist about meditation where I teach you guys what it actually was and how to properly do it. Because when you do that, literally meditation is a practice that lets you constantly be aware of your own divine nature. And as you're meditating, you also access various different states of consciousness. And as you learn to maintain your consciousness within inside of these different states, you also learn how to bring that inside your dreams, since your dreams is just a different state of consciousness, right? People who are not able to stay aware in different states of consciousness, these are the people that might not have dreams or don't have that many dreams, because when that state is popping up, they're not really aware of it. You see? Now I'm gonna talk about how to kind of boost your consciousness, right? But second thing that goes into a dream is memory and recall, right? Being able to actually remember what's happening, right? And being able to actually recall your dreams. You see? This is another reason why people don't dream as much. Sometimes you had a dream, you just don't remember it because your memory and your recall is actually pretty bad. Inside this video, I will go into how to boost your memory, right? That's another thing. Number two, or the last thing is being able to access the dream state in particular, which I kind of mentioned when it came to consciousness, but I will give you guys certain things which you can do to access the dream state, because a lot of people simply just can't access that state of awareness, or when it pops up, they're just not conscious of it, right? So, first things first, how do you actually boost your consciousness? First thing I recommend, I already said it, meditate more. When you meditate, you become more aware of your divine nature. You see? You become more aware of who you actually are, and you also become aware of several different states that take place while trying to get there. Because while trying to perceive your true divine nature and stuff like that, you already access various different states. And then once you're actually accessing that divine nature, those are more states that come from that. You know what I'm saying? There are many different states that one can experience, and meditation is like the bridge to all them shits, right? Number two, understand the dreamlike nature of reality. You see, I like to see this as a dream because it quite literally is, right? This is a dream, right? This experience that we're having is a dream. It's just a very physical seeming dream. But understand that when you have dreams, it usually seems physical anyway. Same stuff here, you know? It's the same thing here. You see, right now, see, in a dream, right, you have your character, you have other people, which are just different aspects of your own consciousness, and then you have also environments, and you have the script that underlies the dream. It's the same thing with reality. In reality, you have a certain character, right? You also experience other people, which are simply just different aspects of you. That's still true, right? You experience certain environments which can often reflect states of being that you hold inside of yourself, right? And then there's a certain script behind reality which people play out, right? A lot of people are not really that aware of their divine nature. They're kind of just playing certain characters, right? And these characters have scripts. You see, when you interact with these people oftentimes just reflect different aspects of yourself, right? Certain people that you might not like are simply just showing you certain parts of yourself that you hold inside yourself which you don't like, right? Like certain people annoy me because I know that if I tap into that kind of energy that I will begin annoying myself. But the more that I make peace with that part of myself, that person will no longer annoy me, right? For example, actually, let me not do that. Let me use a different example. Let me think. You know what? I'll say this. I sometimes when people do things out of a lack of awareness, that can annoy me. But that only annoys me because when I act from a lack of awareness, I annoy myself. So the more that I make peace with the fact that I can act out of awareness and I start getting annoyed with myself, I kind of am more gentle when other people act that way because I understand. You see? Some people some people really do piss you off just to show you what parts of yourself you get pissed off at. The more that you recognize that because the thing is, you have the potential to be any kind of person, right? You can literally be anything. Now, over time, we identify with certain aspects. Wait a minute, why is it joint on my head right now? What am I doing? I just was talking to somebody's on you know what I'm saying on video and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I had my headphones on, but I knew something was off with that. What the heck? Anyway, like I was saying, you have the potential to become any kind of a person. It's just that over time, you identify with certain information, which makes you have a certain kind of identity, which makes you build a certain kind of character that seems like it's separate from everybody else. But at the end of the day, we can all become any kind of character that we want. And I'm saying that because every single bad person inside the world reflects a certain potential which you have, right? Even the most evil person in the world, if you wanted to, you could become that evil. Not saying that you have to, but I'm saying that you have the ability to actually understand why these people do what they do. And the more understanding you have, the less you let it affect you. It doesn't mean that you're okay with it. It just means that, you can understand it and you don't got to tweak out over certain stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important to understand the dream-like nature of reality because when you do this, you kind of bring that same state into your nightly experiences. One of the big issues that prevent people from being a bit more lucid inside their dreams is the fact that they see this reality as real and they see dreams as fake. Understand that when you actually hop inside your dreams, you still think that it's real, which is why you kind of don't realize that you're dreaming. But guess what? You only have the awareness that your dreams are real because you forget that this reality is also a dream. If you saw this reality as a dream, you will start seeing dreams as dreams. But because you think that this is real, you start seeing the dreams as also real. So you need to understand that reality is a giant dream. Every single person you experience reflects a certain aspect of you, good or bad. And when you understand those aspects of yourself, you learn how to interact with people better have and how to be less affected by people. In fact, when you tend to integrate certain parts of yourself which people reflect, you actually stop encountering those kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? When it came to my ex, right? The more and more I understood what parts of myself my ex reflected back to me, the more and more I didn't have to deal with her at all. You know what I'm saying? Like at all. Even when it came to like having dreams about that person, I didn't have them no more. Because I understand what they reflected about me. There's many even in high school, right? Certain people in my high school that I didn't particularly like, right? But I still had to interact with. Because I understand that when I was in high school, that's when I became a bit more, or that's when I actually started my spiritual journey. And I've always kind of understood this truth about the dreamlike nature of reality. I'm happy I understood that so quick, because now when I was in high school and I was kind of forced to deal with people I didn't want to deal with, I started realizing what aspect of me they were reflecting. And then once I integrated that, I didn't have to deal with them no more. It's actually crazy how that works. So, yeah, start to perceive the dream-like nature of reality. Last thing I'll say is do illusion checks. You see, people always say do reality checks. That's not what you should do. And this tip that I'm saying actually comes from Tibetan dream yogis who actually lucid dream and can break beyond their dreams and all kinds of stuff, right? They do illusion checks. What's an illusion check? An illusion check is when you remember that everything you're perceiving is an illusion, even your character. You see, the issue with reality checks is the fact that when you're in your reality, right? There's a couple issues. Number one, you're like, one, when you're awake in your life right now, you kind of know that you're awake. So you kind of feel like there's no point of doing a reality check. But then people will tell you, no, you should still do it because inside your dreams, you think that your dream is real. So it's like it's the same exact thing. Which there's truth to that. Inside your dreams, you think that it's real life. You know what I'm saying? So you might think, why should I do it a reality check? This shit's not a dream. Then you wake up and you're like, oh, that really was a dream. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you're awake, you still kind of feel like you know that you're awake. So it kind of feels a bit dumb. And then two, in real life, you might try to pull your finger and see it stretch and stuff like that, but it's not going to stretch. And when you do a reality check, you still live from the mindset that this might be reality or it's not reality. So inside your dreams, if you actually and now I'm not saying reality checks don't work. I've done reality checks and they have manifested inside my dreams, but I've had way more success with illusion checks. Because in your dreams, you might try to do a reality check like, is this reality? But you still have in your mind that it could be reality. So even inside your dreams, the reality check might not work, or you might still be confused as to why certain things happen. Because you might still think that it's reality, because you still have the possibility that this might be reality or it's not reality. With an illusion check, you always say that it's an illusion, right? An illusion check is when you become aware of the dreamlike nature of reality. You become aware of the illusory nature of this reality. You're like, wait a minute, I'm not this character. I'm not this character that is working this job and deals with these people. No, I am the soul that is observing these experiences and choosing to have them, right? When you start doing these often, you take that awareness into your dreams. Now you're not in your dream like, is this reality? Is it not reality? No, you're just like, wait a minute, this is all fucking illusion. I'm the soul and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that inside your dreams, you become really aware that you're dreaming. Because when you do it in real life, you do gain a certain level of lucidity. But you still understand the limits of physical reality. When you're inside your dreams, once that lucidity kicks in, you will know that, oh yeah, I'm actually in a dream for real. You know what I'm saying? But there is no different from this dream and the other dream. You know what I'm saying? And when you do illusion checks in your real life, it doesn't, when you do illusion checks in your real life, it doesn't just help you with dreams, it helps you to actually attain higher spiritual heights because you stop being so attached to the character and you become more in alignment with the soul and you start to live from the soul way more. You see? So do illusion checks because illusion checks always tell you that what you're experiencing is an illusion. You're not the character, you're not the circumstances, you're just experiencing that. Same with the dreams. The thing that keeps you bound to the dream is the character which you embody, because the reason why you can have some crazy shit happen inside your dreams but you still don't peep that you're dreaming is because those that crazy shit is normal to the character which you are embodying. But once you say, wait, I'm not this character, you break free from the dream also. You see? So yeah. Now How do you increase memory and recall? Number one, write down all your dreams. I don't care how random, how little, how dumb, whatever you can remember, write down your dreams or make an audio inside your phone. You maybe could just speak to your phone and stuff like that and say what happened, but try to write down your dreams or just recall your dreams more. And then be aware of the state that you're in when you're actually recalling your dreams. When you're trying to recall your dreams, it actually is a certain state of consciousness which you can become aware of and kind of feel into. So now that you constantly write down your dreams and you constantly say your dreams in the audio and stuff like that, now you can actually look back at what you wrote down. You can listen back to the audio and you can actually begin recalling what you wrote down or what you said to your phone, and you become more aware of that state of consciousness, right? And then because of that, you start to know you start to know what it feels like to recall things, and now you kind of just activate that state and then you try to recall. I have an example of this, right? Maybe a month or two ago, I was doing this series on Patreon that was called Developing Astral Projection, where I was doing certain things from my course to have more out of body experiences. Because I was already astral projecting, but I wanted to do it through the OBE state and not through how I was doing it before. Now, as I was reawakening the OBE state, I started having less dreams. Like, I'd wake up in the middle of the nighttime and have no dreams. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, I want my dreams. And then literally, there was one night I just activated my recall because I kind of just knew how to do that. And all my dreams were pouring back in. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened last night, then this, and then that. Like, I just activated my recall and I was able to get all the memories back. You know what I'm saying? So as you write down your dreams or speak your dreams out, and then you actually look at them back or listen to them back, you start to actually remember what recalling a dream feels like and all that other kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that, you know? And then second thing, because let's say you don't have any dreams to recall. Okay, cool. Reflect on your day and what you did that day. Whether you reflect on your whole entire day at nighttime or you take out different periods of your day to remember what you were just doing. I recommend that. I recommend that inside your day, maybe like every hour, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, you take the time to sit down and say, wait, what was I just doing for the past hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? You build up that memory and that recall ability. You see what I'm saying? So take time to reflect on your day and what you just did. You see, especially at nighttime before you're about to dream, right? Last thing, how does one access the dream state more? Meditate with delta waves and alpha waves. Delta kind of keep you inside. Delta will keep you inside. Damn, bitch. Delta will keep you in a deeper state of consciousness. Because you dream inside the theta state, but first you're in delta, then theta. So when you use delta, you take your mind to those deep states where dreams are about to happen. Then with theta is the actual state that dreams happen in. So when you use theta waves, you kind of get into like the actual like flowiness of the dream state and events happening and stuff like that. You feel me? Use delta waves and theta waves and you'll be good. You see? Now, with that being said, inside of my Astro Mastery course, I teach you guys different things for lucid dreaming and for out of body experiences. And when it comes to the lucid dreaming aspect, I have way more tips than just this. Now, these tips are already very good. You should practice them. You don't even need my course. But if you want even more tips that's going to help you, you can check out the course if you want to. You feel me? I'm not saying that you have to. I already gave some really good tips that if you do this shit, you will begin having more dreams. Because my main goal is to get you guys to have more. Because there's people that don't have dreams at all. If you do this shit, you will have more dreams. I can guarantee that. You know what I'm saying? And also, if you do this type of stuff, you'll have more lucidity inside the dreams as well. You see, I can almost guarantee that. You see? So, yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I have to say, right? Like this video, subscribe if you're new. If you want my channel to get bigger, comment on different podcasts. I'm going to end this video. I love you. I'm going to catch you. Peace the freak out. You smell me. Hey.